Hey everybody, it's me, Jonathan Millard, the voice of the Veil, back with another Big Hype podcast, and brought to you with our exclusive friends at Boxer, the online platform for fighters, promoters, to get you, the fans, in contact and supporting your favourite fighters and your favourite promotions. Go check them out. We Prep UBA, one of our great sponsors here as well, fantastic nutritionist, travels the UK, does food for lots of different athletes and sports across the board. Go and check him out. Who else we got? Prestige, MC Prestige. They are fantastic event organisers. If you need a boxing ring, you need lighting, you need sound systems, go check them out. They're the guys. Our preferred charity of choice, of course, Georgie's Place. Great helping mental health of boxers and ex-boxers as well across the UK. But anyway, fantastic sponsors. They're very helpful. They keep these shows running, so thank you to them. But realistically, we're here for the main meal, the main event this afternoon, which is my fantastic guest getting from her car. She's amazing. She's fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, please Tracy I say it wrong, don't I? Slicksta-Webber. Where did I get
Webster
3 hours sleep,
is
3 hours sleep.
actually...
Right, should we try it again? Let's do it again, because I don't get this a do-over in a normal situation.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, do you know what? My family name is Webster, but I am actually Webber. So you're close at the end of the day.
That is something there you go. Look, I must have had that intuition that I just
there you go.
Messed up the name. I didn't have it written down. So right, let's try it again. Should we try it one more time?
Let's go.
So, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, please welcome my special guest from her car in the beautiful sunny fields, Tracy Slicksta-Webber.
There you go.
There you go. Fantastic. How you been?
All good, you know. I'm actually really good. Yeah. And I'm ready to come back now. I've got a fight in date. So, yeah, my time to come back after 3 years out. Thank God. Stars are finally aligning.
It's been a long time coming. We've been
really
chatting back and forth, and I think we nailed down possibly 3 or 4 different dates at one, and things have just not gone the way that we wanted them to as a boxer. But we'll come to that in a minute. We'll come to the thing. So I'll ask you the same question I've asked everyone else who's come on the podcast, which is this one, which is how and why did you get involved in boxing?
I was 19 years of age when I first got into boxing, a hell of a long time ago, like 23 years ago now. I got kicked out of school. I had undiagnosed ADHD, but this was back in the 90s, so it wasn't heard of in girls, and it was only just coming out in lads, you know, and it's quite rare. So I was undiagnosed. I had troubles in school, had troubles, you know, in my childhood, and I was a bit unruly, and I was a bit, you know, not living right, getting into fights on the streets and whatever else, and just my life was going down the wrong path. And then decided to change my life around, started going to Mass Catholic Church, and I went to the boxing gym, and that was my turning point in life to put it into something positive, you know, and change my life around. And I haven't really looked back since, to be quite honest with you. It's kept me on the right path, and it's helped me tenfold.
I've heard the story before, similar thing. But you mentioned the ruly. Let's go back to the ruly bit around school. How was school for you then? What was it like being, you know, obviously undiagnosed? Did the teachers did you get any help or support at all in school?
Well, when I was getting suspended all the time and they seen that I was struggling, I got diagnosed with emotional behavioural difficulties, and like my education was very low for my age. I had the reading and writing of like an 8-year-old when I was like 13, 14. I was under par for where I was at, so I was struggling academically and was just struggling in general. I needed one-to-one basis, and I wasn't getting the help that I needed, you know, with too many people in the class and that. So I was getting overlooked. I couldn't concentrate. I was being a class clown because I couldn't actually do my work, and I was struggling. And then like I was kind of getting singled out because I wasn't getting the help that I needed. So I ended up just doing my own thing, and that was being disruptive, being a class clown. I was getting kicked out of classes. Then I was getting a bit of a reputation in school and whatever else with me fighting and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then...
Yeah, I mean, that probably resonates with some of our listeners. I mean, in regards to perhaps that, you know, seeing those traits in their own children. You know, and you went to Mass, did you say? Mass?
Yeah, Catholic Church.
Catholic Church.
Yeah.
And you started going then, was the boxing gym associated to the church or the gym, or?
No, it wasn't. No, I just went to my local Catholic church. I got brought up in Torquay. I'm from Manchester, but I actually got brought up in Torquay. I got took down there when I was like 2 for a better way of life, but it didn't really work out that way. And then when I got kicked out of school, it wasn't good for me. I had no routine. I had no structure. I started living street life. I was doing things that I shouldn't be doing. And then about 5 years of that, just living wrong up until I was 19. I thought, you know what, I need to stop what I'm doing because I'm going to end up dead in prison, an addict. And I really need to change my life around and separate myself from the people that I was, chilling with and that. So I started going mass, trying to calm myself down, trying to focus in life and change my life around. And then I went to a boxing gym in Payton, just outside Torquay, in Torbay, because in Torquay, the local boxing gym in my area, girls weren't allowed to train there. Because this was like years ago, like late 90s or something. So girls really wasn't allowed to train. I remember going and they wouldn't let us train. We was just doing sit-ups or something in the ring. So obviously I never went back. And then I went to the and then I went to the Payton one, and that's when I first started boxing.
Wow. So I mean, there's a whole thing there. I mean, that itself. I mean, how things have changed, and how how boxing now. We've got headlines. We've had headlines female boxing for a while. We've got MVP boxing specifically just for women.
It's great.
It's great to see that the sport has come along so much in those years. So, do you remember your first bout? Do you remember your first time in the ring?
Yeah, I got absolutely battered.
Tell us about that.
Absolutely battered. Yeah, this girl, she was from Newcastle, and apparently she had a fight and lost the fight. And then when I fought her, she was absolutely great. And then I think it was 2 years down the line, she was in the paper of one of the best in the country. So she was my debut, so I had no shame in that. But yeah, like, I felt like a fish out of water, to be honest with you. She was just dead strong and dead fit. And when I first started boxing, I wasn't even training properly. My diet wasn't right. I wasn't running, really. Yeah. I think I was having McDonald's before I went to the gym, do you know what I mean? KFC to get my chicken, do you know? Like, I didn't really have the proper I didn't really have the proper mentality, but I just like fighting type of thing. So, but obviously you learn as you go along,
That's great.
But I still loved it at the same time, but yeah.
Do you know what? There's many stories about like wrestlers and stuff. I mean, I don't know about you, but I've been watching that Hulk Hogan documentary on Netflix. If you've not watched it, go and check it out. No advertisement. It's just, he was a bassist and in a band, and he wanted to be a wrestler. They went to the gym and they literally broke his leg. The first day,
really?
It's like the wrestlers broke his leg. As like to say, well, if you want to be a wrestler, you're gonna have to deal with that sort of thing. So
yeah,
I mean, it probably and many pro boxers have lost their first fight, and gone on to bigger and better things, world championships, etc. as well.
Exactly.
Having that bit of schooling, like you said there, you were schooled, you were bad by this girl. Have you seen her since? Have you?
No, I've never crossed paths with her. I've never crossed paths with her again. Well, yeah, she was in the papers with Nicola Adams and Amanda Coulson. I was like, fair play. I don't mind. I'll take that one,
Well, yeah, definitely.
That's
a tick in the box, isn't it? Tick in the box. I mean, I've not been able to find an awful lot about your amateur background. So, again, you obviously had a little bit of amateur background from what you're saying there. Can you tell me about how that went and what happened there?
Yeah, basically, my amateur career wasn't what it should have been because I didn't get diagnosed with ADHD till 30 years of age. So I had a lot of time struggling from the age of 19 up until 30 with like really bad anxiety, insomnia, stuff like that. But when I first got into boxing, I actually found what I love. I fell in love with boxing and I was passionate about it and I felt a belonging and I loved it. I fell in love with it. So even though I was struggling in set ways to be like 100% health, I was sticking to it. I ended up having about 21 amateur fights, won half, lost half, obviously ABA champion.
Just occasionally drop that in there. Okay, yeah, an ABA champion as well, don't remember.
Yeah, what was it? Semi-finalist as well for Nina Hughes in the semi-finals of the elites. She was a great amateur one. She GB star.
Yeah.
Box for England. Three Nations, I was like semi-finalist, so it was all right, do you know what I mean? I was struggling through that as well. And I had time out as well, like I had 3 or 4 years out just before I came back and fought for England and whatnot. So I come back and smashed it. Like, it was kind of off and on my amateur career, you know, but I was trying to stick at it at the same time.
Yeah.
But when I got diagnosed with ADHD, that's when I came back after 3, 4 years out, gained me experience, and then women's boxing just became a thing with the pros. So I was like, yeah, gain some more experience for the pros and then turn over. And then I turned over like at COVID times where it all messed up. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of boxers messed up by COVID. Some were able to train, some weren't able to train. Were you training in that? Were you training through COVID?
It was off and on. It was off and on.
Yeah.
I was meant to have my debut. I had a 3-month training camp, best I've ever been, and I was at my gym of 10 years as well. And then, like, the week of national lockdown, my fight fell through. The week of my fight, national lockdown, I couldn't believe my luck. I really couldn't believe it. And then training was off and on. Like, I was flying as well. And then, like, national lockdown. So I was just eating. I couldn't work. Lost my fitness. Lost everything. Then training was off and on for about 2 years or something. I had 3 falling through debuts in national lockdown. Yeah. And then I left my gym of 10 years as well. That messed with my head, you know. And everything just went mad. And then I ended up going to a different gym, and it was an amateur gym. It was a great amateur gym, but it wasn't the right gym for me. And I didn't have the right manager neither. I kind of had to get my own manager. And this is where it all compelled into something really bad for my debut. And that's why my debut didn't work out.
Yeah, there's a lot of contributing factors that
100%.
moving parts that were, you know, and unfortunately going to come against you in that sort of thing. We'll come to we'll talk about your debut in a little bit, but before you went and turned into debut, I understand you were on a TV program.
Yeah, SAS Who Dares Wins. Yeah.
What was that? What was that experience? Like, what was that different? How does that differ from what we were talking about in boxing? First and foremost, I mean, it's massively different. I'm assuming, but I might be wrong. So, over to you.
It was crazy. It was so hard. It was. I'm as tough as they come. I'm as rough and tough as they come. But that was just next level. It was so hard, and the sleep deprivation in the show, the anxiety of not knowing what's going to happen. You literally was on pins all the way through it. And we didn't even know where we was going until we got to the airport. It was all hush-hush. They really knew what they was doing psychologically, you know. Yeah, the show was just very hard, you know. People think, if you was on the TV, behind the scenes, you was probably getting treated all right, and it wasn't that hard. No, trust me, it was harder than what you actually seen. And when I went on that show, I was fighting, I was ready, I was in fight mode, and I was like, bantamweight boxer for 10 years, me, all throughout my 30s, 54 kg, 55 kg. I was always on fight weight too. So I went on that show, the world's toughest military program, at 55, probably maybe 56 kilo at the most. My Bergen was as heavy as me, near enough. Do you know what I mean?
So you have to carry yourself basically, and carry yourself on your back as well.
You know, it was so hard. It was so hard. Next level. Them guys are just unreal, you know. So yeah, they did find it very hard.
Did you take anything from your experiences there that you relied on in that pro debut, and obviously instill in what you do now in your training day by day or week by week?
Yeah, I'm just very determined and I don't quit. At the end of the day on that show, I proved that I've got heart and I'm very determined, and that's just me as a person. Obviously on that show you learn about yourself. I went on to learn things about myself, what's holding me back in life, to learn off great men, you know, which I did. I took a lot of blessings from it. But when it comes to being disciplined, I've got that from boxing now. Before boxing, I probably would have told him to F off or something, you know. Like, I had the wrong attitude. So I knew I was disciplined for the program.
Yeah.
But it was just next level of toughness, you know. But I showed my heart and I showed my determination. I didn't hand in my band, even though I felt like collapsing some of the times, you know.
Yeah.
And I lost a lot of weight on that show too. It was very hard. But I never quit, and I just take that into my boxing as well. Like, I know I've got that. I know I've got that heart. I know I've got that toughness. Yeah. So I love that, you know. I love that about myself.
I think, like you said, there, we as watchers sit in our homes and watch it and think, it can't be that difficult. They probably all go to their trailers afterwards and stuff. But
Exactly.
you're saying, and there's some real lessons that have been learned. I mean, anyone who's joined the military will tell you. I've had a few military, ex-military boxers and bare knuckle fighters here through the podcast as well. And they've also said, it's not an easy life.
It's not.
It's not an easy life, and what you sign up to, you don't quite realise what's involved with it sometimes until you're in the thick of it. So, I can only imagine it's 10 degrees above that because of the connections with the SAS and all that sort of stuff as well.
Exactly.
Wow, but so some experiences then coming through there, and obviously coming back into taking back into the ring. You double down, you dig deep. I mean, you've dug deep so far. I mean, like we said at the beginning of the podcast, we've had a number of different times where we've tried to set this up. We've had fights or something come through. The mental resilience that you have, it is phenomenal. I think I've got to say that, because
appreciate that
to go through as many times, to go through something like that as well, and like you said, not to hand the band in, to take it off and just go, yeah, thanks very much, I'm done. That is a mental fortitude that you have, and obviously, you're very, from me personally saying this, it's just you are very. What the word is, phenomenally talented
resilient.
In your brain.
Thank you so much.
So it's fine.
It's because I've been through hard times in my life, like the undiagnosed. At the end of the day, it's undiagnosed mental health. I have been through a lot of battles mentally, really have, like really bad sleep deprivation, chronic anxiety. Like I've been through dark times with my mental health undiagnosed. So I knew I had that in me. I know I've got that no quit. I've been through things in my life where I've contemplated, like, certain things like, can I even get through anymore? Do I want to be here anymore? But I've pushed through, and I've come out the other end, and I've changed things in my life as well. And I've had to do things alone a lot of the time too. And that's hard to do things alone as well when you haven't really got that support behind you. But I don't know, it's made me who I am at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, I'm grateful for everything that I've been through, because it's made me the person I am today.
You're amazing. Let's talk about the pro. Let's go into that pro level now. We wanted to turn over pro. As you said, COVID messed things up completely for everyone and for you. So talk us through the pro. How did we get there? How and where did we go?
Yeah, so I was at Jim Egan's boxing gym about 3 years ago. My debut was 3 years ago now. And I kind of felt on my own, it was a good gym, it was a good amateur gym, but I kind of felt on my own. I didn't have the right team behind me. Like I said, I had to get my own manager, and I shouldn't have had to get my own manager, and I got the wrong manager. When I did have my pro fight 2 weeks prior, I got on with my ex-manager, great. I was even training at his gym a few days a week. Everything was great. 2 weeks prior to my debut, my ex-manager was doing nothing but contradicting himself and showing he had no respect for me. My opponent got changed last minute. My opponent was a 4'11" super fly when I'm a 5'8" bantam, super bantam. He tried to get me under championship weight, and championship weight for a non-championship fight. I was 54.6 or 54.9. 2 weeks out, 1 week out from a fight or something, which is nothing. It wasn't a championship fight, and I don't have to be on championship weight. And there was just loads of things going on in the background 2 weeks prior with my manager, and this being weight drained, and I was weight drained for my debut. I can't get into order because it's the reason why I lost my license, for explaining how weight drained I was and whatnot, and it got me into trouble and I lost my license. But I had my professional debut, very weight drained, I was ill and I shouldn't have fought. I really shouldn't have fought. But I had 3 falling through debuts previous. I sold my tickets. I was ready to fight. I was ready to go. I wanted to go. And mentally, even though my body wasn't in the condition that it should have been, mentally I was absolutely flying. Mentally I felt great. And because of my ADHD, it keeps me hyper, it keeps me sharp. So literally, mentally I felt great. So I still went through with the fight. I only lost by 2 points as well, and she was a very hard.
I was going to say the scorecards were 39-37. Aaron Sargent, referee, no blaming anyone, referees. You were up against that the Ukrainian. I'm going to say this wrong. Vasilevska.
Something I can't say
Yeah.
a second name. But she was a danger.
Svetlana, yeah, Svetlana. I would agree with you on that one, Svetlana. So yeah, she had a mixed bag coming into that fight. She was 2-3, 2 wins, 3 losses. So yeah, so I mean, she was, again, like you said, it just threw you out completely. I suppose
she was a southpaw as well, you know.
She was, yeah.
A southpaw for your debut with a KO on your record. You know, them backhands you don't see as a southpaw, and she had a KO on her record, so I was wary. I was very wary.
Yeah, of course.
But I still went ahead with it, and I done my best for the state I was in. And then, yeah, go ahead.
No, I mean, I was just saying. I mean, you know, you were at Super Bantamweight for that as well. I mean, I've kind of been able to find a little bit of footage, not an awful lot of it. You know, yeah, understandably, you know, if you're up against it, last minute opponent changes. You know, you trained for this. So you've been through a couple of different potentials that had happened, and you like you say, you sold your tickets. People were there. People were counting on you. You don't want to let them people down. You don't want to let yourself down. You sort of you moved forward, I suppose, and just went, "I'll take it. Let's roll with it. Let's see where it goes." Talk, you know, the board, as you said there. I mean, you came into a little bit with the board afterwards as well, with just trying to explain the sort of situation. They didn't like that, I guess, but I'm not going to go into
basically
too much around that.
Yeah, when you first get your license, you have a meeting, and they tell you a certain thing you can't talk about. You can't talk about dehydration, and I don't want to get into it. I can't talk about it. But
let's just move on.
Yeah,
move on.
Yeah,
So
no, it's okay. No, it's okay. Like certain things I can say, but yeah, I let it be known about the state of my body, and then obviously the boxing board seen it, and I got pulled in for the hearing. I had a hearing with my ex-manager. I covered a lot of people's backs, yeah, and I kind of took the blame for everything when it wasn't all my fault. I revealed the truth. Yeah, I shouldn't have boxed still, but I also had a team there to protect me and look after me and do their best for me. And then I found out, and then I lost my license, yeah, and then I appealed the decision, and then it went through 11 months process. I had no license, 11 months process. I appealed the decision, and then I had to wait another 11 months to get the other hearing to find out whether I'm going to get my license back. I turned up to the hearing like 11 months later. I put on for the time that I lost my license as well, I was just doing weight training to get me through mentally, because obviously I was struggling. I sacrificed so much in my life to be able to box as a pro, like a lot of pros do. So I lost completely everything. I had no boxing. I sacrificed my life for boxing. I was left with nothing. So them 11 months I lost my license, I was just weight training. Obviously I was malnourished for my fight, so I ended up putting 6 kilo on. I went from like 55 kg to 62 kg. So I went to my hearing December, well, healthy, mentally right on it, ready to, you know, sit there with my ex-manager and for the truth to be known and to face everyone and face everything. And he never turned up. So it spoke volumes, didn't it? And I ended up winning my license back. And then that was that. And then we started another fresh year, and then stuff happened with that as well.
So this would put us into what, 2024?
It was the end of 2024, okay. And then so we was going into 2025.
Okay, so we've been waiting for this debut now, and we've had the debut. Sorry, we've been waiting for the next fight, and this is where we and you have had conversations. We've exchanged messages, tried to put this in the diary, and we've had one fight, and then that sort of didn't happen. And then we sort of we hold off until we get the next fight written down, and then we get that one moved on. So how many between 2025 getting the license back and, well, hopefully, without any further ado, in June. Is it June?
June.
Right? Yeah,
not far away. Yeah, I'm fighting in June. Yeah, I was meant to be fighting the end of May, but she's just pulled out. She's pulled out twice against me now. So yeah, another pull out. Do you know what I mean? So
you can't write this, can you? Really? People don't
really
want to box
can't.
you. They obviously don't want to box you. That's the thing. They must be scared.
Yeah,
of you.
Even my coach is getting paranoid now. Do you know what I mean? My coach is getting paranoid. He's like, "Are you actually fighting?" I'm like, "Well, I'm hoping. Who knows until I actually get in that ring." You know what I mean? So yeah, I have got one. June the 20th, I think it is. Yeah.
June the 20th up in Sheffield, I think. On a Fight Zone card, I think. Is that right?
Is it? I never knew that.
I don't know. No idea. I might be really wrong on that one, so don't quote me on that one.
I might want it to be YouTube. I
Well, if
want it
not,
to be used to, so I hope so.
and you've got a good opponent in with you. Actually, I know Amy as well. Amy, a Greater X,
Yeah,
the T-Rex, the G-Rex. Sorry, she's a good boxer. She's a very good boxer. I've watched her a couple of times. I've called her a couple of times as well at different
yeah.
venues as well. So again, she's a good little boxer, and give you a nice, run in for your money. Hopefully, you'll go through that and enjoy that.
I definitely enjoy it.
So, I mean, putting the boxing aside at the moment, and obviously all the issues that we've had trying to get the pro fights and stuff, where would you like to take this? Where would you like to see your boxing career go?
Well, obviously, I'm fighting on the road now. Last year when I got the year before when I got my license back, like I got offered. I didn't have a promoter, but I got offered to fight on 3 weeks' notice, and I had to sell 3K in tickets on 3 weeks' notice. When I've had 3 years out the ring, so I have lost support. I'm an inactive fighter. So
Yeah.
I don't want to sacrifice my own hard money now for boxing, and I'm 42 now as well.
Yeah,
So I've got
you don't even look a day over 30.
yeah.
Not even a day over 30.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm cracking on now. I'm 42, so I've got nothing to lose. I've lost support, so basically I'm going on the road for now.
Okay.
Going on the road, getting the ring rust off because I've had 3 years out.
Yeah.
Getting my flowers, getting my respect, showing people what I'm about, showing what I'm capable of, and just representing myself to the best of my ability in every single way. My boxing, my professionalism, my attitude, just get my name out there, yeah? And basically it's God's path. It's God's path. Whatever's meant to be will be. I'm hoping, I do feel as though I can get wins on the road. And when I do get them wins on the road and people start thinking, how is this girl 42? And people start giving me opportunities, that's when I'm going to switch it all around and start selling tickets again. Hopefully I can sell 100 tickets again, and get back in the home corner and challenge for these belts, That's my plan. But I'm content and happy with whatever is meant to be will be, I've got nothing to lose.
Yeah. No, you know what? I think that's a good plan to have. Actually, I think there's an awful lot of people that don't realise, like you said there. Now you're going to go back onto it, get into a pattern, get a few wins on the road, get the upsets, because you are a good boxer. I think you've got some skills and some things that a lot of people don't know about and don't see
exactly
in the game now today. But we'll see in the game going forward. And I think that's going to be a little bit of an eye opener. Hopefully that'll put eyes on you for the right reasons, and I think a little bit of social media marketing and something else around you could sort of heighten that experience and get you back into that. And that's definitely a way forward. Would you like to go on and win a title or something like that? Is there a title that you'd sort of like to sort of hold before you hang up the gloves?
Yeah, I really want belts. I do want belts. I want them belts over my shoulders, on my waist, And do you know what belt I really want at this moment in time? It's like my world title for me. It's a Central Area belt, because I lost my license with a Central Area. So to lose your license with a Central Area, and then to gain their belt, I think that would just be a great story within itself. And the Central Area and the boxing board have actually been great with me, and they've treated me with so much integrity. When I was going through my hearings and that, they had a lot of compassion and they just treated me great. So to get the Central Area belt would mean a hell of a lot to me. I want that belt.
It's kind of like the retribution system, isn't it? You were down there. You were the bad person. You were the bad girl. No.
Yeah, exactly, like a bad girl.
Now you've turned it all around, and you've been put up to the pinnacle of And I mean that's a great retribution. That's almost like a Rocky story, isn't it? So like
it does, but it's something like that.
We've got our own Rocky here in the Slicksta, in that story, and that's a great story and wonderful story. And I hope and I pray that happens for you as well.
Thank you.
If you were to secure that, I mean, hypothetically now, as you say, you're going on the road. If an opportunity came up on one of those big promotions we mentioned earlier, like a boxer or an MVP, it would the sort of opportunity, to challenge for, I don't know, Commonwealth or European or even a world. What would be your response?
I want to fight the best. I will fight everyone and anyone. I'm not scared to fight anyone, yeah? Even if I am like a fish out of water, yeah? I don't care. I will fight everyone and anyone. I love fighting. I love boxing. And I do believe in myself. But I also know I need to find my feet. my first few fights back, you know, but I want to fight the best. So if I get an opportunity to fight on a big card and a known big girl, I'm up for it. I'm more than ready. That's what I want.
So what are you in at the moment? What division are you in at the moment? Are you
I've gone up to featherweight now. I'm featherweight.
Okay.
Yeah, featherweight now.
There's plenty of opportunities at feather. There's plenty of big names there as well for you to have a look at, and maybe, who knows, maybe they want to, you know, that opportunity might come your way. I hope it does.
And even super bantam too. Even super bantam. If I get the right notice, super bantam too. Because I do a lot of fasting, you know. So, yeah, like I could do super bantam with just the right notice, you know.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're in the gym at the moment, you're training, as you say, you're fasting.
Yeah.
Fasting's, you know, it's a great way to regulate your weight as well. I'm trying. I lost 11 pounds in the last month.
That's good.
Partly through intermittent fasting done. And some of that, you know, sort of just eating less.
Yeah,
carbs,
same.
Potatoes, just trying to cut that out.
Yeah,
as well
exactly.
And forget about those things. Just stick to the vegetables and
like a carnivore diet. Yeah, like a carnivore diet.
Kind of like, a bit like keto kind of thing, eggs and chicken. So it's kind of that's what I was suggested to put myself on, and I did sort of lose a little bit. But I've kind of maintained. I've gone back to being naughty, and you know, you probably see that. I've got not the responses by anyone this morning, obviously. But I just go and get one of those this morning because I was like, oh, do you know,
we all do. We need a little wake up, a little pick up.
What would you do when you know, for a sort of normal day's training or a normal week's sort of training? What do you do? You say you intermittent fast, so what are you normally up to?
Yeah, I do 16-hour fasts. Sometimes I do like 18, 20. But, you know, if my weight's good, I don't need to do it all the time. It's just every now and again, really. Well, yeah, I'm training 3 times a day at this moment in time, but also I'm a security officer too, and I'm working 12-hour shifts at the moment. So I've just knocked my hours down so I can train more, ready for my fight. But yeah, like when I'm not working, get up, do a run, go for the spa like I just have then do a little bit of strength and conditioning, and go to the boxing gym 6 o'clock. And just chill, to be honest with you, just chill. Go for a walk in the country, you know, in the woods and whatnot, take the dog out. Like, I'm a very chill, I'm a chill, laid-back person. I like going for walks, I like going hiking, go to the cinema, just chill out, you know, just normal everyday things. And then when I'm working, I'm in work, but I'm still training too, maybe only once a day when I'm doing 12-hour shifts. But yeah, just like your average Joe, really, you know, getting the training in and just doing my work.
I think a lot of people don't really get that professional boxers, until you make a certain level, you have to substitute your income with a job or some sort of activity, you know, that or, you know, sponsorship. Some people are very lucky. They've got a number of sponsors that back them. You know, I don't think people quite understand that that's actually how the reality of it. I always ask, like, what, a bricklayer or you know, quite a few bricklayers on you, quite a few sparkies, quite a few plumbers, all sort of manual tasks. But again, it gives them flexibility in regards to being able to stop and sort of take down or reduce the work a little bit to train for those big moments, those big fights. When it comes to the end of the career, when you hang the gloves up, are you ever going to hang the gloves up? What would you like to do?
To be honest with you, I'm hoping I can box until I'm about 50. I'm really hoping and praying I can, because literally I just love fighting. I love fighting, and I do feel so young. I feel so young. And when I am fit, like, I don't train like I'm in my 40s. I don't even train like I'm in my 30s. You'd think I'm like 28, 29. I'm faster and I train harder than the kids in the gym. When I'm fit and I'm on point and I'm in fight mode, you'd take like 15 years off me or something. It's crazy. So I'm just hoping and praying that I don't get premenopause anytime soon, and I can just carry on for as long as possible, you know, because I just love fighting. I love fighting.
Would you be versatile and going to another avenue? I mean, you know, we've had an announcement of former IBF world champion Lee Selby turning over to BKB now. He's debuting Cardiff in June. Would those sort of avenues be of interest to you, or is that not something you'd want to do? Is it perhaps go into coaching or something else instead?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, when I didn't have no license and I wasn't sure whether I was gonna get it back or not, I actually signed up to BKFC.
Okay.
So I was waiting for the trial-outs. I was meant to be getting an email back for trial-outs in, England or Manchester or something, but I haven't heard nothing yet. But I've got my licence back now anyway, so I'm not interested in that. I want to stick to the professional boxing. I have thought about it. It does draw me in a little bit, bare knuckle boxing, and I feel as though I'd be good at it too because I've got the footwork and the movement. A lot of these bare knuckle boxers, they're kind of brawly, and I feel as though like I've got the IQ and I've got the footwork and movement, and I feel like I could do well. But at the end of the day, look at the state of their faces as well. Do I really?
I was
Yeah,
going to say, good friends with Dorian Darch, he's well known BKB. His face after a fight, Ashley the Bash has been on the podcast as well. Williams, again, he was an ex-military boxer, amateur boxer, good pedigree, but decided to go. He's challenged for a world championship, but he didn't have that much on his face. But
really.
the face,
Yeah, you get beat up a little bit, don't you?
It does add a few years to you, and obviously Lucas Brown again, another retired boxer technically.
Yeah.
But has moved into the BKB space as well, or the BK space as well. So again, yeah, I think I like my face. That's why I've never been a boxer. So, so I think I got punched once or twice. So that was it.
Yeah, boxing's already messed my face up as it is. Do you know what I mean? In my 40s, I don't think I want to go and get battered even more. I might be getting married one day. Do I've got to stay all right-ish.
Got to have those photographs. They're going to go on the wall. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, there you go.
Fantastic, Tracy. How do people get involved? How do people get involved with you? What sort of things can we look at for to get in contact with you?
My socials, anything Slicksta, official Slicksta is where you'll find me. Anything Slicksta. People are definitely going to see me about anyway. I'll be fighting all over the country, and they're going to be talking about this 42-year-old, aren't they? So they're going to know about me. They're definitely going to know about me.
It's a definite story, and I think a lot of people. Hopefully, I'll get to see you on one or two cards as well. I mean, we've got a few free pro shows coming up in different places across the UK and hopefully elsewhere.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Let's hope we do. But we do have a closing tradition on the podcast, which is a either/or final round.
Okay.
So Tracy Slicksta-Webber, are you ready for your final round?
I'm ready.
Seconds out. Here we go. Southpaw or orthodox?
Orthodox all day long.
Body shots or headshots?
Headshots all day long.
Train alone or with a partner?
Alone.
Early bird or a night owl?
Oh, but I have to be an early bird.
Heavy bag or speed bag?
Speed bag.
Underdog or favourite?
Dog. What was that question?
An underdog or favourite? Which one would you rather
Dog.
be? Underdog.
What's that?
The underdog, like you're not expected to win.
Underdog.
Underdog.
Yeah, underdog. Sorry, I didn't even hear what you said. I was like,
it's the sunshine. What? It's the sunshine coming through your car. It's just
it makes me dizzy.
Boxing gym or outdoor training?
Both.
Okay.
Both.
Short,
Probably
powerful
boxing
punches.
Gym.
Probably gym. Okay, we'll go with that. Short and powerful punches or long technical game?
Long technical.
Fight dirty or fight clean?
Clean.
Loud crowd or the quiet atmosphere?
Either or, I don't mind.
Don't mind. Quick knockout or strategic win?
I would love to be able to quick knock out someone, yeah, but I don't think I'm that powerful.
Never say never, never say never. And my last question, which is still on the cards. Hopefully, it seems to have regained a little bit of after Turkey and all the things that with Tyson Fury's fight last week or a few weeks back, whatever it was, I can't remember. Who do you think, AJ or Fury?
I would have went with Fury, but because what AJ's been through, I think he's going to come back and shock people. I'm hoping AJ can do it.
I hope so. Well, I don't know. I just think as a fan, we're just going to enjoy this situation. We're going to enjoy the fight and finally get it. Hopefully somewhere like Wembley or Tottenham Stadium or something like that.
It'd be great.
Tottenham's got to find some money from somewhere now after they'll be lowered down to the Championship next season.
There you go. That stadium.
As a Tottenham fan, that's hard to say, let me tell you. So hard.
God, it's crazy when you got a great stadium.
Well, I've been there, I've done the tour, I've walked around the top and...
Oh, really?
Now thinking that next season we're going to be in the Championship. Well, at least we'll hopefully have some silverware to go alongside that nice European trophy we had last season. So hopefully we can...
Blow your way back.
claw our way back, build from the bottom up, and that's what I hope.
Exactly. It's
I hope
possible.
is the right thing for us to do, and we'll be back at the top of the flight of the Premiership in a season or two. Let's hope.
There you go.
Let's pray.
There you go.
Pray for Tottenham.
I know, innit? You gotta stay hopeful, you know?
Exactly. Anyway, we've done that. We've done the podcast. Thank you so much for coming on to the Big Hype podcast. It's been my pleasure to have you on this afternoon or this morning or this evening, whenever you're listening to this. It's been great. I wish you every success in the future. I think it's going to be a really interesting story, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of that as we progress through your stories, Tracy.
Thank you so much, Jonathan, and thank you so much for your time and the opportunity. Really appreciate it, and I've enjoyed it too.
We'll see you again.
God bless. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.
This has been a Big Hype production, edited and produced by Jonathan Millard, assisted by Riverside FM and distributed by Buzzsprout, available on all good podcast platforms. For more information, visit www.bighypepodcast.co.uk.